This time last year I started a series called What is Love, and I wanted to continue that series with commentary based on the new Netflix episodes of Love is Blind. So here are my thoughts from episodes 1 and 2 of the new series of Love is Blind. There was a lot of talk of feelings, and the fact is this is something I run into often as a life and love coach with my clients. No one can make you feel anything. Okay, so the particular instance in episode 1 was talk about a person's past. The fact is this: a person's past is their past. Your past is your past. Now, if they regret their past, it's their past. If you regret your past, it's your past. How you feel about what's happened in the past is a choice that you are making, but no one can make you feel that. No one can make you feel anything. That is the choice that you always get to make. Another thing that came up was the idea of loss. This concept, I don't want or I can't lose you. The truth is, loss is an illusion. We all enter someone's life and we all choose to leave at some point or another for a variety of reasons. Loss is just an illusion because the point of relationship is to show up and learn. So then where's the loss? Maybe you let the opportunity to learn pass you by, but it's still not too late to think back and ask yourself, what can I learn from the situation? If we do that, then we've done what we're meant to do and we've received what we are meant to receive in the relationship. Loss is just an illusion because things change and so do people. We're not meant to stay in the same place or hang on to the same people for the rest of our lives. The idea of loss is just an illusion, another choice or feeling that we are making. Okay, the next idea was about being loved unconditionally. The title of the show is Love is Blind. Now think about it for a second. To say I'd like to be loved unconditionally, you're using love as if it's a verb. I'd like to be loved unconditionally. The title of the show is Love is Blind. Even in the title, love is not a verb. The reality of love is not a verb. It doesn't matter that we have been taught to use love as a verb our whole lives. From our earliest age, the sentence, I love you, has been handed down to us, right? Just because it's been handed down doesn't make it right. Love is not a verb. I promise we will get into that more as I continue this series, but just think about the title of this Netflix series for now. Love is Blind. It is not a verb then. If it is blind, that means it has eyes to see or a means to perceive some level of awareness. It's not a verb. Okay, then something came up in these episodes about addiction. And all I want to say about addiction is everyone is addicted to something, whether it's work or food or TV or adrenaline or pornography or alcohol or certain types of drugs or approval even, or even being needed. There are so many different types of addiction and everyone has something. Okay, moving on from addiction. There's no reason to ask anyone if they have addiction issues. Okay, now moving on. Stop saying sorry. I see this every day in conversation. It's everywhere. If you didn't do anything wrong, don't say sorry. Find another, more thought out, less lazy response than sorry or I'm sorry. If you need a minute to think, don't say sorry. Just say I'm processing and I need a minute. Don't say sorry. You're not doing anything wrong by thinking. You're not doing anything wrong because the other person has to wait and be patient in the conversation. They might need to say sorry if they're being impatient because then they're doing something wrong. But you just thinking is not wrong. Saying sorry when you didn't do anything wrong is a psychological weakness. It is not a strength. So that means in this culture that we are living, we have a psychologically weak culture because it's become just the norm to always say sorry. Stop it. Just stop it with the weakness. It doesn't make you better to always be saying sorry. Okay. Next thing, wondering whether or not the person you care about is going to be more or less happy with someone else. That's none of your business, and it's not a sign or characteristic of true love. When you see that sort of behavior happening, you know there is a lack of love and an abundance of fear. And fear is the leader of jealousy and control and manipulation, and it's a great sign of a lack of self-love. Stop worrying about what other people will do and just handle your own business. The one person who says that they had found self-love in the whole show was actually the first to be proposed to. I found that very interesting. I found it very meaningful because that's what it's about. If you find love, you don't find it outside of you, you find it inside. And guess what? That's gonna make you a magnet. Someone is gonna see you and fall in love with this radiant energy that you are putting out. I have more to say about that particular couple who became engaged first, because if you've been watching the series, you already know what happened. And yes, we'll talk more about that later. Can you really fall in love with someone you've never seen before? Can you really fall in love with someone you've never sat next to or looked in the eyes? Can you really fall in love with someone you've never shared a meal with? Or are you falling in love with the romantic version of them that you created in your head? You can develop a deep affection and connection with the person that I just described. Of course you can. That doesn't necessarily mean you're ready to live your life together. My name is Lance Howard, Life and Love Coach, and I will have more to say on Love is Blind.